I'm Leslie Averill. I'm the crazy goat lady from Selma. My farm is Arrowhead Farm. We are north of Selma. Been here since '81. So we got started in goats about 30 years ago. We got 2 just to clean up around the farm, and we run a herd year-round of 18 to 20. Of that, I milk between 6 and 12, depending on what the breedings have come. I raise Alpine dairy goats. What was that? I raise Alpine dairy goats and have done since year yay. The reason I picked Alpines, I like their personality in spite of the fact that they do things like eat the milk house and give me dirty looks. I've toyed with the idea of getting a different breed, but every time I think, another breed, no, it's not going to happen. We have a guardian dog, Blizzard, that lives with the goats 24/7. He does a very good job of keeping coyotes away. I rarely hear coyotes very close. We also back up to Buffalo Creek, so we do have bear and feral dogs and neighbors' dogs. So we have all those things that we have to think about, which is why Blizzard or another like him is a permanent fixture. This is my new milk house. It's fairly weather tight. I have a lovely skylight up there that you can't see, but it's nice. Oh, he's got it. But it's nice to have it when it's raining. It's kind of fun to watch the rain and the lightning. Over there to Dan's right is my milking area. The way this works, and it's worked for me now for about 2 years, I think. I let the milkers in from the main barn, have feed in there, and you see the clips. If I don't clip them, they'll kill each other. They come in one at a time, jump right up on the milk stand because they know that the goodies are up there. And they also get treats. And then I wipe the udders, dairy wipes. Right here, you can also use baby wipes or a damp towel, not wet, damp. This is udder cream. I probably use more on me than on the goats. And my T-tip is over there. Personally, I use Defend 2 because it's an iodine-based barrier dip. Expensive, hard to get. Mastitis is more expensive. Knock wood, since I've been using the barrier dips, I haven't had any mastitis, even though my goats are in a barn that doesn't get cleaned often enough. This is Addie. She's going to be 3 years old. She gives close to a gallon a day if I would milk her twice a day, but it's the end of milking season, so she just gets milked once a day. You've seen that I take my little dairy wipe or baby wipe, not wash. I don't wash the udders. I just wipe them. Sanitizing wipes are good. Water, even with a bunch of bleach in it, is going to introduce bacteria eventually into the orifice. If I'm milking for the house, first thing you do is you milk out. No, first thing you do is wipe the udder. You saw that. For the house, you squeeze out a few squeezes, switch buckets, get your sanitized bucket, and then continue milking. To sanitize my house milk buckets, I do the same thing that restaurants do, which is a gallon of water, warm water, and a tablespoon and a bit of bleach. All I do when I take it in the house is strain it and chill it, and personally, I drink it that way. You can pasteurize it 165 degrees for 20 seconds, 145 degrees for 30 minutes, either way. If I make cheese, I do the low pasteurizing. Now I've already shaved her udder. You can see she's pretty hairy back there, but she's not hairy here. And I shave the bellies as well. I don't worry too much about the hair and the dust. If anything other than hair and dust gets in the milk, it gets dumped out or fed to the dog. By the way, excess milk goes to the dog and the chickens and the ducks and the geese and the cat if he's fast enough. The quality of milk that you get out of a goat depends on the quality of food that you put into her. That being said, each animal's milk has a different flavor, and I think too sometimes each teat must taste different because you'll get babies. You'll have a doe that has 3 babies and they'll all nurse on the same side. It's the only thing I can think of. If you're going to buy a milker for the house, for your own use, or to bottle feed your calves or whatever, make sure you can milk, first of all. There's a lot of animals out there that look, they have big teats and you think, oh wow, it's easy to get milk out. Not always. Big teats don't always mean that you're going to be able to milk them. I have short fingers. This is a perfect size for me right there. Some animals will stand to be milked. Some think you're absolutely killing them. She had a little difficulty beginning of the year, and I had to tie her leg. But as you can see, she's cool with it now. If you're buying a goat for house milk, first of all, make sure you can milk her. Secondly, make sure she comes from a healthy herd. Tested, certified is always a good thing. Tested for TB, brucellosis, and CAE. TB and brucellosis especially because they're transmissible to humans. CL, caseous lymphadenitis, will show up as knots in this area and on the neck. You don't want that animal either. Make sure her milk tastes good. I've had people call me that, oh, I bought a milk goat, da-da-da-da-da. Her milk tastes terrible. Well, they probably should have tasted it before they brought her home. Or they got her home and decided not to feed her decently and the milk changed flavor, which it will do. Mine can eat onions, and I must be immune because I never taste it. As you can see, there's foam on it, and all over the floor. But the hair and the dust catches on top of the foam. So when you take it in and you strain it, you're not straining the foam, you're straining what's underneath, which usually doesn't have very much stuff in it. When I'm doing demos, I have a spray that goes here, but I'm at the house. This is an iodine-based barrier dip. What it does, a little bitty hole that the milk comes out of can also bring a lot of bacteria in. So if the milk comes out, she gets dipped, she's sealed, it's done. And now she's waiting for a treat. Because, of course, because she's been totally put upon. This is orange peel. I also have goat cookies, which are in my sit-upon. You want more of this? All right, now people have asked during some of the other demos if I always do it by hand, and I don't really. I do have a milk machine. This is an old Capralite. Fernie Register now carries them, I think. And it's been a godsend. When you have 10 or 12 animals to milk, your hands run out really fast. I can do it, but it's easier on my hands. Right now, I'm using it. I have one that's hard to milk. And in the time that she gets milked out, I can do almost all the rest of the chores, which is why I have it. Sanitation, very similar. For the milker, you sanitize again. Now I'm waiting for it to get up to pressure. Ideal pressure is 12 pounds. This is so old though, it's got some leaks and I can only do about 10. These are the inflations. They've been sitting in bleach water between animals. And that's all you do. She's already been milked out. turn off the suction valves. They come off, purge. And that's basically it. These go back in the milk and the bleach water. Dip the teats. And turn it off. Now, when I get done, I'm going to let her loose. She's been awfully good, surprisingly. There you go. So now I have this milk. We did try raising pigs one year. That did not go well. I mean, pork was good, but it didn't go well. Sometimes I do make cheese, but I could make cheese 3 days a week and still not use up all my milk. And then I'd have a freezer full of cheese and no legal way to sell it. Sanitation, I'm very lax on sanitation, which is why I hand milk my drinking milk. For this, all I do is run the bleach water through and rinse it. If I was milking for human consumption, my consumption, I'd have to break it down totally, run a brush through. This is an inflation cleaner. I'd have to clean the inflations, break down every single joint with every milking. I don't do that. It's much easier just to hand milk and clean it. As you can see, we feed through the fence and have done for years. It does help keep parasites down. Not to zero, but it does. Anything you can do to keep feet, mud, dirt, fecal matter out of the feed will help with parasites and coccidia. I think you probably saw in Dan's pan the dog boxes there. Everybody likes to sleep in them. Don't know why, but they just like the comfort of being curled up for some odd reason. Let's see. Oh, the minerals and baking soda are right here. The bucks are in that other pasture outside. Alpines are seasonal breeders. This is breeding season, and we control the breedings because I want to know when they're going to have babies. We will be attempting AI this year. Fingers crossed. If not, I have 2 bucks out there that are more than happy to help. Now we're facing west, which we get a lot of the breeze from. The roof is actually walls. In the winter, or if we get a bad hurricane coming, we drop them down. We can do it manually. They're fairly light. We drop them down. We can secure them to protect the barn. And of course, in the winter, we do it for heat retention. There is still a lot of airflow, though.